Yo, what's good, y'all? So I want to talk about EPs. I probably put a definition of what EPs are right here. There's just an EP. I forgot exactly what they're called right now. I'm just spitballing this right now. I just want to kind of explain them because I I had some before, but I kind of cleaned out my thing. Probably in the next video, I'll kind of link some of my stuff. shameless, but this is my channel. What are you gonna do about it? So yeah, um, so EPs. I don't have anything against EPs. EPs are probably the smallest form. All right, okay. So to me, it goes like okay. So I'm talking about music. I'm talking about drops of music. I'm talking about tracks of music, combinations. Collections of music. Okay. So I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm trying to be descriptive, but I'm not being descriptive at the same time. But okay. So for me, I'm probably gonna reference this in every video as well too. So just be on the lookout for that. So in every kind of like song or just music making and making collections of songs or whatever. So I think the ranking goes, in my opinion, it goes single, EPs, mixtapes, and albums. Yeah. So singles is probably the smallest one. Now singles, I don't feel like need to be explained pretty much because it's just a single. You drop one song and it's just a single. It's easy. So I want to talk about EPs and everything above EPs, right? So typically, how I understand an EP is it's typically 4 songs. I want to say 4 songs because that's probably like the maximum we can go. It can be more than that, but it can be less than that as well too. 2 songs, 3 songs, but for the most part, it's 4 songs. You know what I'm saying? That's an EP. That's typical. And those are 4 songs that those are just 4 songs. And you can name that EP, and it's gonna be dropped on platforms as EP. Because it's not like a full body of work, or it's not a mixtape, or it's not, an album. But I think EPs are also very important in probably, an artist's career too, because it's probably like, maybe something you're trying out, a new sound. So it's like, okay, I don't want to put this all into an album and people not like it, or to a mixtape. But I'm gonna put it into 4 songs and give them 4 songs, to, help their appetite for whatever I'm making. Or probably whenever I read the definition of EPs, I'll probably add a little more onto this video, and you'll hear me jump cut and talk about a little more about EPs and whatnot, and how they are and what they do. You know what I'm saying? Because I think they're very important as well, just as many other things. Into the song collection, song combination, or song list. It's hard for me. I'm trying to find the word, but I get lost when I'm trying to talk. You know what I'm saying? But EPs are pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? You see, like, artists have like just a name for probably they drop a few songs together, but it has a name. It has like a meaning, you know what I'm saying? Where it's just like, it could be like 2 songs, you know what I'm saying? They have 2 songs they want to drop, but they put it under something, that's considered an EP. Or they have like 3 songs they drop in like the same succession, and that's an EP. And when I was starting to kind of make collections of music and collections of songs, a lot of my things were EPs. I think I don't remember my very first one, but I would put probably about 4 to 5 songs, and I would categorize it under as EP. It would come up on my SoundCloud, as EP, because it's a small little body of work. You know what I'm saying? You can tell a lot probably in 4 songs, depending on their length. And I'll possibly try to do that, because right now what I've been trying to do is, probably the latter things, you know what I'm saying? But possibly in the near future, I'll, make an EP, and I'll probably reference this video within that, you know what I'm saying? Or probably put it here or make another video and be like, oh man, I dropped this, reference this, come back to this video, you know what I'm saying? Uh, but I really enjoy those, you know what I'm saying? Where it's just like, it's two little songs, three little songs, four little songs, and it's digestible instead of like whenever you get like the more, you get a mixtape, you gotta sit down with that for a little bit. You get an album, you gotta sit down for that for a little bit. But you get four new songs, and that kind of like okay, it boosts the serotonin and gets you a little excited again. It fixes the appetite while they're probably working on other things. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like it's a teaser, yeah. That's how you can kind of define it a little bit. It's a teaser of what's to come. Uh, you know, yeah, EPs are important. And like I probably put in the video before, EP stands for extended play. And they relate to LPs, which are long play. And like I was saying before, an EP is probably, usually 4 tracks. And they're not so long for an artist to make, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty simple and easy, cut and dry. And they usually relate, and in my mind, they relate to vinyls. And when I was doing a little more research, like I said I was gonna do, they relate more so to vinyls and CDs, and when you put them on the track, they're gonna spin, and what I'm saying, it's gonna be on one side, and it's gonna be the few songs that are on that one side, you know what I'm saying? And pretty much like I was explaining before, EPs are cheaper for labels and artists to make, you know what I'm saying? They're more so cheaper and less expensive than everything else, that I'll probably talk about in the future, you know what I'm saying? I done a little more research on that. They're really a lot cheaper, you know what I'm saying? They're easier to make. And they're used by up and coming artists, like myself as well. So to release more quickly, they're they take a lot less time to make, more so than probably a larger body of work. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't take a lot of time to be used, you know what I'm saying? So it's a good medium for artists to show a little bit of their creativity and versatility in those few songs in this little EP, where it's just like you can have one song that sounds like this and the next song can sound totally different. Or it's just it's a marketing thing where it's like they're releasing this in a small, quick succession, but it's a good amount of music to hold over, fans and people who wants to listen to them. And it's for one of the first releases after a single. If they don't have any singles, they'll probably have an EP out, but it's not going to be usually called an EP, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes with certain artists, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? It shows a lot, and it's before, a lot of all these other longer, compilations of music and playlists and things of that nature. So basically it's marketed as that, as the artist is taking their first steps as an artist. An EP is probably one of the first steps to a bigger release, you know what I'm saying? So whenever you get like a single or you get an EP, a few songs, you get the first one song, then you get the first few songs, it's like, okay, oh man, this is going to be shaping up for something great, you know what I'm saying? And it's marketed that way for a reason. And you know what I'm saying, I really enjoy, EPs. And I just never really understood why, we're only getting 2 songs right now. Or they drop 2 songs and then they combine them together in a playlist, and, that's like an EP or something. It's like, what? But doing it myself, it kind of made me gain an appreciation for it, where it's like, man, this is so helpful for me, where it's like, man, I recorded, a few songs, and it's like, I don't know what to do with these right now. I'm not working towards a bigger project at the moment. So let me, drop this as an EP. And maybe other artists think this way as well too, where it's like, dang, these might be on the album, they might not be. So let me just, put these out there, and they know something else is coming after this. So that's kind of like what, extended plays are for. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me, what extended plays are for, you know what I'm saying? And it just, they also relate to long plays for me, and that's probably another topic for another time. But for the most part, yeah, just extended plays are important. As I was saying before, they're a lot cheaper to make. therefore, up and coming artists or artists in a higher caliber can use them as well too, where it's like, okay, these few songs are gonna be on the album, you know what I'm saying? But they're gonna be on, longer player, they're gonna be on a mixtape. So let me just drop these first, you know what I'm saying? And, they know something is coming after this, you know what I'm saying? It's always just like a scheme, just getting, hype and, just talk about what you're gonna have coming out, you know what I'm saying? So that's what EPs in my kind of point of view are for. But from personal standing and what I've made myself, they're very fun and really simple to make, because they can be told two totally different songs and they can be cohesive, you know what I'm saying? It's just, you can do a lot with, like, even the four. I've seen two, I've seen 2 to 3, but I've usually done 4 or 5. And, it's not really limited to that, thing, but that's typical. That's, generally it's going to be 4 to 5 songs. And, what I'm saying, they can be really hype, or they can just be, they can be, set up songs. You know what I'm saying? It's really just up to an artist, you know what I'm saying? Because you release quickly and, you know what I'm saying, you can name it, you know what I'm saying? It's just, they're really, really, they're really fun, bro. It's always just like a little placeholder before, you know what I'm saying? Like, just thinking about it in a digital sense, where it's just like, oh, you had the EP that dropped, and then you have like the mixtape within the album, where it just kind of like lines up perfectly. And it's so cool seeing that sometimes. And, even doing that myself, where I kind of categorize things I've made, compilations myself, and I categorize them as EPs, you know what I'm saying? And then as the other one that I'm going to talk about in another video. But yeah, man, just extended plays, man. Just like, if you're an artist as well too, if you haven't made one, I suggest you try to, work on one of those as well too. And instead of probably just dropping singles, you know what I'm saying? You can drop you can drop the singles and then put them all together in an EP. You know what I'm saying? You can do that as well too. Just make sure they're kind of combined if you want to. But you know what I'm saying? I'm not telling people to do that. I'm just saying, like, try making an EP. You know what I'm saying? They're really, fun. They're really fun. I just really kind of reinvigorated my love for making these. I may just do a whole session of make an EP. You know what I'm saying? That may be, therapeutic for me. But yeah, just, it's the first step. It's one of the first steps to making a bigger release. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see it, as a standard artist, you know what I'm saying? Because I haven't sat down and made an album at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm planning to, so that's why I drop EPs, mixtapes, singles. You know what I'm saying? It's leading up to that point. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what they're for. With that, y'all, just wanted to let y'all know, man, the EPs are important. EPs are cool. EPs are hip. You know what I'm saying? EPs are it. You know what I'm saying? With that, y'all, I'm gonna be out. Peace.